I want you so much. It's been burning me up from the moment I saw you in Dubai. So forget everything else, Christina. Forget everything but this." He forgot about being gentle with her. The fierce emotion welling up in him demanded that he obliterate any bad thoughts from her mind and fill it with the same all-consuming desire he felt. He kissed her hard, storming her mouth with intense passion. A wild exultation ran through him as she responded with her own fierce drive to take what he was doing and give it right back. No hesitation, no holding back, frenzied kisses, frenzied touching. Mutual desire riding high, her body pressed yearningly to his, making him even more on fire for her. Primitive instincts kicked in. He needed, wanted, had to have total possession of this woman. He swept her off her feet, crushed her to his chest as he strode to the bed. Even as he laid her down, she was pushing her kimono apart, opening her legs wide for him, not wanting to wait, eagerly inviting instant intimacy. He tore his own robe off, hating the thought of it getting in the way. Then he was with her, swiftly positioning himself. She was slick and hot, exciting him even further with her readiness. Her legs locked around him, heels digging into his buttocks, urging him on. He pushed in hard and fast, and barely stopped himself from climaxing at the very first thrust, just like a teenage boy experiencing the ultimate sex fit. He sucked in a quick breath, savagely telling himself to maintain control. He tried to set up a slow, voluptuous rhythm with his hips, but she wouldn't have it, her body rocking his to go faster, faster. He felt her flesh clenching and unclenching around his, and her throat emitted an incredibly sexy groan. His head was spinning, excitement at an intense level. Her fingers dug into the nape of his neck. Her back arched from the bed. He felt the first spasm of her coming and was unable to hold off his own release any longer. He cried out as it burst from him in violent shudders, and the flood of heat from both of them was so ecstatically satisfying. He was totally dazed by the depth of feeling. He'd collapsed on top of her. She held him in a tightly possessive hug. Was she feeling the same? He had to know. Had to know if all the bad stuff from the past had been wiped out of her mind. He levered himself up on his elbows to see her face. Her eyes were closed, her head thrown back, her lips slightly apart, sucking in air and slowly releasing it. "Look at me, Christina," he gruffly commanded. Her long lashes flicked up. Her eyes were dilated, out of focus. A thrill of triumph ran riot through Ari's mind. She was still feeling him inside her, reveling in the sheer depth of sensation. It gave him a surge of confidence that she wouldn't walk away from this, what they could have together. The glazed look slowly cleared. Her tongue slid out and licked her lips. He was tempted to flick his own tongue over them, but that would start them kissing again, and this moment would be swallowed up, and he wouldn't know what it meant to her.
The extent of the anger he felt at the thought of her with another man was so alien to him that it took Marco several seconds to grasp what it actually was. He was jealous. Jealous because she wanted someone else. How could that be? It could not be. But it was. Marco knew. Somehow she had conjured up from within him a version of himself he had never imagined might exist. A version of himself that was all primeval male. The thought of those softly parted lips being possessed by another man ripped at the pride of the previously unknown version of himself she had somehow brought to life inside him. With a smothered oath, Marco slid his hand along the soft column of her throat, bending her back against the pillows, telling her thickly, before his mouth closed over hers with angry male possession. "Very well, then. If you won't leave, why don't we really give him something to be jealous about?" Marco was kissing her, and immediately nothing else mattered. Immediately no one else mattered. Immediately she was kissing him back as her heightened emotions exploded into a surge of sensual hunger. At some deep level inside,